Hi scholars, so today we're completing the first lesson in Module 4. So we're starting Module 4 today. And in this module, we're going to be learning how to connect multiplication and division and all the things we learned about multiplication and division to something called area and perimeter. So let's get started with our learning intention. Thoughtful mathematicians use square units to determine the area and perimeter of rectangles. So we know a rectangle is a shape and specifically is a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means a shape of four sides. And this specific quadrilateral has two pairs of equal parallel sides and four right angles. So these two sides are the same length and they're parallel to each other. And these two sides are the same length and they're parallel to each other, meaning they're directly across from each other. And there are four right angles in this shape. That's what makes it a rectangle. The perimeter of a shape is the distance around a figure. So you add up all four sides, or all the sides, depending on how many sides there are. But since we're focusing on rectangles, there are only four sides. The area is the measure in square units of the inside of a plane figure. And that's how we're going to measure this today. We're going to count the squares that we see inside of a rectangle. And a square unit is a unit such as square centimeter or square inch used to measure area. So squares inside of another shape. And all these add up to the area of the shape. So really area is just the space inside of something. So let me show you how to find the area and the perimeter of rectangles using square units. So I see my square units inside this shape. So now I noticed that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going across and 1, 2 going down. So there are six square units wide, 2 square units. Actually, 6 square units long, 2 square units wide. So now to find the area, like I said, you can count it, but there's an easier way which relates to multiplication. The formula for area is length times width. The L stands for length, and the W stands for width. So how long and how wide something is. So you have to multiply those two sides. So that would mean that the area of this rectangle would be 6 times 2, which is, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 6 times 2 is 12. So this specific rectangle is 12 square units. So SQ stands for square, so square. If I wanted to write out the whole word, I would write square units, but I abbreviated SQ.UN. Now what about the perimeter, the space outside this shape? So now for perimeter, I'm going to add up all four sides. So I know that this top side is 6. That means that this bottom side is also 6. And if the left side is 2, then the right side is also 2. So I'm going to add up all four sides now that I know how long they each are. So let me go ahead and do that. 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2. Well, I know that 6 plus 2 is 8. This is 8. And I can add both 8s. 8 plus 8 is 16. So the perimeter is 16 units. So it's not square units because it's just the units outside. It's not the squares inside. So when I'm doing perimeter, it's always in regular units. And when I'm doing area, it's always in square units. So in this case, we're just using units because they're actual boxes. But let's say there were inches or centimeters. You would write square inches, square centimeters. And then if it was perimeter, you would just write centimeters or inches without the word square. So let's try one together. Let's look at this shape here. So what do we have to do first in order to be able to find the area? Well, if you remember, we have to find out how long the sides are, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This side is 7. And going down, 1, 2, 3, 4. This side is 4. So let's do the area first. What's the area of this rectangle? So remember, we have to multiply the length times the width. So that's 7 times 4. What's 7 times 4? Right, so 7 times 4 is 28. And again, since we have the shapes in front of us, you can always count the rows or the columns, right? 7, 14, 21, 28, or count down 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, right? Or we can just multiply like I just did, right? But think of this as an array, right? There are rows and columns, like an array. Now let's find the perimeter. So remember, if this side, top side is 7, the bottom side is 7, and the left side is 4, the right side is 4. So for perimeter, what do we have to do? Add up all 4 sides. So 7 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4. And the order doesn't really matter, right? The associative property of addition tells me that I don't have to add in a specific order. It doesn't matter because regardless, I'm going to add them all up anyway. I know 7 plus 7 is 14, and 4 plus 4 is 8. What's 14 plus 8? 22. Oops, I forgot to write the unit. 28 square units. Don't forget to write your units as part of the answer, because what does this number represent? 28 square units, not just 28. Right, so you're going to try this last one, and the sides have already been ready for you, 3 and 5. So please pause the video now, solve this, and then press play when you're ready to check your work. Right, so you can do the area or perimeter first, doesn't really matter. I'll start with the area. In this case, I have 5 times 3, and that gives me 15 square units. For the perimeter, I had to add 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. I know 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So the answer is 16 units. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a better understanding of how to find the area and the perimeter of a rectangle. In your problem set, you'll have similar problems, and I hope you enjoyed and have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.